Okay, one of my continuing quests with my AE modular system is to synthesize a passable snare-like sound using as few modules as possible. So tonight I'm going to be trying that with my new MIDI-controlled oscillator 1 from Wonkystuff, which is very cool, as a signal source. The MB1, MIDI Brain 1, is going to be receiving MIDI from my Digitact here, and that's going to be controlling the mco-1. The mco-1 has a sub-oscillator, a square oscillator, a ramp oscillator, and a noise oscillator, and so I'll be using several of those in this snare sound. And my understanding of snare synthesis, which is pretty limited, but is that a snare is one of the more complicated, conventional drum sounds to synthesize, because you have both a tonal component and you have a noise component. And the tonal and noise components are, I guess, ideally going through separate bandpass filters. You're having an envelope controlling the pitch of the oscillator. You're having envelopes control the cutoff frequency of the bandpass filters that you're routing these signals through, and then you're mixing that together. And so I'm going to be trying this with just a single bandpass filter from the state variable filter, but luckily the mco-1, you can control the levels of the different components of the signal, like noise or square wave, separately, and you can control those via MIDI CC. So I'm going to have my Digitact controlling like the pitch of the tonal component, and I'm going to be routing every signal from the mco-1 through a VCA and then a bandpass filter. So I'm going to be running channel 1 from my Digitact to control the mco-1, and I'm going to run the audio from my mco-1 through a VCA here. The mco-1 also produces trigger and gate signals to fire off envelopes. I'll be running that trigger signal into the input of an envelope, and that envelope is going to be controlling the level of the VCA, and the output of that VCA is going to go into my bandpass filter. The envelope is also going to be controlling the cutoff frequency of my bandpass filter, and the output of the bandpass filter is going to go into my mixer here. So over to the Digitact. So this is track A is set to channel 1. I've pre-programmed the different CCs to control the different components of the signal, so I'm going to turn noise way up, and I think this is square wave, so I'll turn that up for the tonal component. And then I'm going to have an LFO. Well, let's see how this sounds first. Okay, I also have an LFO, so I'm going to set it to be as fast as possible. I'm going to send the LFO to the pitchbend, which the mco-1 also receives, and I'm going to have this be an exponential decay envelope. Let's see, where is it? Yeah. And this is going to be a quick one. The exponential decay envelope is going to be set to sort of one-shot mode, so basically a MIDI envelope. And I'm going to route a lot of that LFO to the pitchbend. So let's see how this sounds. So you can hear that there's that pitchbend envelope being applied to the tonal component of the sound. And so I guess some other things you can just kind of adjust to taste. For instance, the cutoff frequency and the CB amount in the filter, the decay of the envelope. So I'm just going to play around with that a little bit and see if I can get something that I like how it sounds. I think I'm also going to decrease the volume, the tonal component a little bit using MIDI CCs. Let's see how that sounds. Alright, I think I like how that sounds. So, I'm using oscillator, VCA, envelope, say variable filter, and the MIDI brain interface. So, not so minimal, but at least I'm not devoting multiple full unit oscillators, multiple full unit noises, multiple bandpass filters to that. So, I think I could sample that and use it. So, cool. The Wonkystuff MIDI modules are very neat.